When people see my work for the first time, it opens doors and you remember certain things that are, back to when you were an artist and you were very sincere, about creating something. Most children create just out of habit, and they don't call it art. They're just doing stuff. You know how confident you are as a little kid, before you realize all of the rules in the world. And I'm trying to get in touch with that and still feel like there are no walls or expectations you have to meet, that we kind of lose as we get older. And I'm a 46-year-old guy who plays with crayons. It's ridiculous. When I was young, I grew up in a small town. I've always had a crayon in my hand. I had lots of cousins and friends who would get boxes of crayons, and I couldn't seem to keep mine because I would wear them down. So I would collect crayons from wherever I would go and carry them around with me in a fruitcake tin. In school, I was really a wallflower. I didn't really understand how to use my words well, and my communication skills with others were really lacking. But I always was trying to make art and trying to make sense of what was happening around me. Even before I realized it was something I could do as a job, as a life, long thing. It's what I've always done. In college, I was able to learn all the different forms, steel and stone and clay and wood, and I made a lot of art, a lot of bad art for years, trying to find my own real voice. I was that poor, destitute artist, just like angry at everything. Myself mainly, because I could not find what it was I was supposed to be creating. I made so much bad work that I got to a point that one night I just threw my hands in the air and I burned several pieces just out of frustration, and that night I had the most vivid dream I've ever had, because I think I was at my bottom. What woke me up was a single sculpture made out of crayons, and I sketched it out and started writing things down, and it just opened up this door for me to explore. When I first began creating artwork with Crayola crayons, I would order them online myself and buy several boxes, dozens of boxes, hundreds of boxes. I had purchased so many crayons that I qualified as a wholesaler, which allowed me to get thousands in a single color, to then use, your full imagination and not be limited by a constraint has meant everything to my creative process, because it allows me now to think outside of myself, to think as large as I can. My only hindrance now is myself. I can't not do art. It's been my life's work. It's my life's journey. It allows me to move beyond myself and my problems I think in my work I try to recreate things that are really unique and putting you back in touch with things that can be bigger than yourself and give you a sense of wonder. We just haven't learned yet how incredible something is, and it's my way of trying to tap into that and reveal the unseen and find this mysterious, colorful language happening right in front of us. Creating art in and of itself is a way of dealing with things you don't always understand. Sometimes I'm able to create things that make me see solutions. You know, because I think we all have a connection to Crayola crayons. I want to create works that are a threshold for those folks that I grew up with to easily step over and be like, okay, you know, art doesn't have to be this or that. You know, it can be almost anything. And hopefully bring them into it, you know, with this little stick of color that they're familiar with.